I'm so excited to share this writing tool with you that I discovered through a couple of my friends, but I hadn't heard about it anywhere else. I'm just going to tell you right from the start that I actually reached out to this company and I said, can we collaborate, because I believe in this 100% and I have been using it since I think early May, if I remember right, and so I'll dig into that. I get so excited that I don't even make sense. So I'm gonna just rewind and let's start over. Okay, so I wanna share something called PACEMAKER with you. And this company is super cool. It is basically a word tracker or a novel planner type website that is completely free. There's a paid option, but there's also a completely free option that I started using in early May of this year, and I seriously am obsessed with it. And so I want to share this with you guys today. This is PACEMAKER, and they gave me a premium plan, which is just the paid version. I think you get more novels to include if you want to. And so I have been using the free version up until now. So I'm about to dig into the paid version and explore it with you guys and show you. It's the same stuff, you just get more if you're paid, but I'm going to show you what it's like to set up PACEMAKER for your novel, especially if, for instance, you are starting a novel mid-July like I am, or later on, if it's not a Camp Nano or a regular NaNoWriMo, you still can use this tracker any time of year, and you can use it for multiple months, which a lot of us need more than 1 month. So let's dig into it. First of all, let me just show you really quick. It's about setting a goal with a strategy and then letting PACEMAKER calculate it for you and give you like a pace, and you can set different paces. We'll get into that. And it records all of your progress, which I love so much. And then I haven't got to the point where I finished anything, so, but I'll take the word for it that you celebrate. So you can read all about it. You can click on the FAQ page. You can look up different plans that they have. You can see the difference between premium and regular. I just want to dive right into creating a plan. So I click on create a plan. I'm going to show you guys how amazing this is. It's so user-friendly. Well, I do remember one of the differences between paid and free is that the free one, everybody can see your stuff. So I named my project Secret Project. And then the Enchanted Crown, everybody knows that name, so I didn't hide that. But in this case, should I reveal my working title? There it is. That's I guess I just did a reveal there. But here's one of my favorite parts, because you guys all know, if you've written anything, that there's so many different types of writing and it's all different. So in this case, I'm drafting, but if you were to do, say you're in the proofreading stage and you need something to help you track, that's a very different animal than drafting or even editing. Publishing, you could even track your publishing process, which is so cool. I'm totally gonna try the publishing one once I get to that stage with my next book, The Enchanted Crown. But anyway, I'm gonna pick drafting, and right now, this is so cool. I just love this website because if I knew that I had a shorter story, I could do that, or even a poem. Oh, a newsletter, that's fun. So I feel like for me personally, I like the bigger stuff, and I could call it, if I wanted to be really fancy, I could call it my manuscript. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then this is another thing that I remember about the free plan versus the paid plan, where you can make the plan private if you have the paid option. And you could write in a description. I'm just gonna skip that because I'm more excited about the goals section personally. I really like the goals and the strategy working together. So let me show you an example. A typical novel is 70,000 words, right? So let's start with that. And let's say I'm starting today. Today's July 6th, so I'm starting late in Camp Nano and I want to do more than the 50,000 words that a NaNoWriMo project might be. So I know that I probably need more than a month as well. So I'm going to set a target end date. Let's say September 1st. I don't know, end of summer feels good to me, so I'm gonna go with it. And you can see right away it comes in this cool, what do you call this? A graph, I think is the word. Oh my gosh, picked the wrong day to film. I don't have any words today. Well, I think NaNoWriMo's like the exact straight line, so this is very similar to that. But then if I change it down here in the strategy to steadily, that is what the NaNoWriMo one looks like. So this is the one that we're all most familiar with, is we just steadily work our way up. But what if you wanted to start small and finish strong, like this rising to the challenge option? Or you wanted to start out with a big push. So you're like, I know that I'm going to be really all in and then I'm going to kind of peter out. So you start out with these goals. It's going to automatically tell you what your word count is, and it's going to change depending on which strategy you choose. I like the names for these, where the mountain hike is the most effort in the middle, and the valley, I feel like that's probably what I'm doing accidentally right now because I started out strong in my project and then I kind of dropped off the face of the earth and then I want to get back into it. So I might be accidentally doing a valley, but you can also do kind of a up and down mix of the two, or you can be surprised every day, which is also kind of fun. And so you just randomly go, okay, like for example, day 1, I want to write 1,925 words. I personally like steadily, so I'm going to keep it on that, but I'm going to show you how it gets even better because you can tailor it to fit you. For example, it's asking, do you want to skip, do less, do the usual, or do more on the weekends, or push? So some people work on the weekends and that's their favorite time to work. And I found that actually, I thought I was taking weekends off, but I found that I tend to be more creative on the weekends. So previously I had skipped the weekends, which you can see looks like this on the graph. It just levels out on the weekends and then it makes up for it during the week. And it's really cool because it shows you like the daily stuff too. Like this is your 5 days of writing and 0 on these days. And I'm gonna go into all the cool features at the top here in a second, but we're gonna keep going. So what if maybe now on the weekends, I wanna do more. I'm gonna switch it up. So on the weekends, I'm thinking I just want to do just a tiny bit more. So that's really cool because I can see like my daily quota is under 1,000. So it's not too intense, which is probably good considering a lot of weekdays I kind of have too much other work to do and I don't get around to writing. But then on the weekend, it says 1,892, so it doubles, right? Yeah, but I like to have Sundays off. So now, let's see here. On a specific day, on Sundays, I want to skip Sundays. So I'm really pushing only on Saturdays, if that makes sense, which is kind of weird. Let's see how it goes. Oh my gosh. This graph is getting really funny, but it's like so helpful. I don't have to do the math. I don't have to plot anything out. I just look at this and go, that's my word count for the day. During the week, 1,200-ish words. Not bad at all, right? And then on Saturdays, I get to aim for almost 2,500, and then Sundays, 0. So that way it kind of lets me fluctuate on the days that I am more capable of being creative and take days off when I'm not capable, and there's no guilt because you can stay on track. It's not the Nanowrimo where you miss one day, you're behind. This one is tailored to you, which I love. But wait, it gets better. So let's say at the end of it, I'm like, I know that I typically miss 4 to 5 writing days and I just skip them and I don't mean to. So let's give myself a whole 5 days at the end so that basically if we scroll up, all of these say 0 and the end right here on the overall climb, so to speak, levels out so that if I was to stay on track, then I would actually finish the 70,000 word novel on August 27th. But if I have any, how do you say it, just missed days and whatnot, these become buffer days, which is so awesome. There's still 2 more sections. So the next one is how it's displayed, which you guys are seeing the graph right now, which is what a lot of us are used to because of the Camp Nano website. But my favorite is probably actually this table one because it just lists out exactly what you need to do. And so there's, you know, the 70,000 words, here's each day's work to complete, and then it'll count what you've actually done, and it'll tell you like what you were expected to do, like where you should be at, but where you actually are. So let me give you an actual real life example from my secret project, which I've now revealed to you guys. So I started out on May 9th, which is so fun to know exactly when I started this novel. And I can see a lot of patterns in here that I didn't even know that I had until I started using PACEMAKER. Now you can see an actual example of how the work to complete, the actual work done, how much I was expected to do, and then my actual progress. Oh, and I haven't even gotten to the most important part where I set this up to track my progress, where it would change to fit what I did. So sometimes you could say, I want my plan to stay the exact same as I work so that I know if I'm, you know, falling behind or whatnot. But in my case, I really, really love how you can have your plan adjust based on your progress. This is probably one of the coolest things yet about this website that I love because it doesn't make you feel behind all the time. I tend to fall behind almost right away, and actually most people do, so don't feel alone if that's you. And it doesn't feel good to feel behind, even if you're not that far behind. So for me, I really like this option where it says, I want my plan to adjust based on my progress, which is what you saw happening, so that if I work I'm supposed to do 1,000 words and I only do 500, it's going to adjust and spread out that 500 words over the rest of the time and give me a new daily word count to meet, and so on. So it's so helpful to not only you don't feel behind, but you can see exactly what you need to do to catch up. And then this last thing right here is how you record it. So pretty simply put, you can either put in your total word count, which is this overall completed work, and they'll do the math for you. And then the other option, daily completed work, is to just plug in the amount that you wrote that day. So let's go up and actually do an example. Let's say that I want to add some progress. I click on this right here. Today is the 6th, so let's say I'm starting on my project strong. Let's say I get 1,000 words and I'm feeling really good about it, okay? So I'm gonna add progress and yay, celebrates with you, gotta love that. And then all you have to do after you've added progress is hit done. It's gonna add it to your project. And now if you scroll down, look at that, there's Monday, it's crossed off, you've done 1,000 words, your expected progress is now 1,000 words, even though it was actually 1327. Not only that, but it tells you what's left to write right here. So 69,000 words now are left. It tells you what your average daily words are. It tells you how many days in a row you write, your like longest streak of writing. No, I'm sorry, this is your longest streak total. And then this is your current streak. So if I was to write every single day in a row for 5 days, it would let me know that I'm on a writing streak, which is so cool. And this part up here at the top, it really just summarizes everything, and it really condenses it into the perfect way that's just so encouraging and motivating to see. At least for my personality, I really like seeing how far I've come and feeling like, oh, I know exactly how far I need to go to accomplish this goal. Give this video a thumbs up or let me know in the comments if you enjoy that too. But I really like, it's not gonna show here as well, so let me jump over to this novel again. It shows me how far I've come. It says it's exactly 18%, and I did just 50K for this over, I think it was, oh yeah, it's exactly 84 days. So this new one is over 58 days, 70,000 words. It's a lot more ambitious, but let's go up and just change it, or not up, let's go down here. Let's say we wanted to write just a 50K novel and we wanted to update that. So I'm gonna save my plan. If you find that your goals change over time, or you want to start tracking it over time differently, or you wanna change, you know, what do they call that? Your strategy, and you know, switch over to random days or something like that, or biting the bullet and starting out with a big push, then you can do that and you can just change it to fit your needs over time, and it doesn't affect the tracking at all. It adjusts to you. I just love how easy this is to customize to your needs, and while the top here doesn't change, you can change this graph here to track the way that you most enjoy. So we looked at the actual graph, and this is more a table, but there's also a calendar option, which is super cool because I can just go back and think, okay, this is today. You kind of just get to zoom in on what you have to do today, and the word count is super obvious right there. And I would be very curious if you can print this out. I'm gonna check. You can print it. That is so cool. I'm totally gonna print mine out, but I think that I really like how it's easy to change in update as needed. In here, I feel like if I ever do a printout or if I do something in my bullet journal, I'm constantly changing my strategy, and I don't like to do the math. I hate doing the math. So I'm like, oh, okay, I've missed a day, so now what does my daily word count need to be? And just things like that are not fun for me. So to have it just done for me here, and also to celebrate and see, this is what I meant by seeing patterns. So I wasn't writing a whole lot on this particular project. I had stuff to do for the Curse Hunter, but when I did write, it was almost all weekends. So I was looking at this thinking to myself, like, I really kick off the beginning of the weeks, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, with a lot of other workloads, and then I would let myself be more creative on the weekends. So just knowing that about me, I could tailor this plan to not write it all on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays and focus the rest of the week. So let's do that for kicks. Let's try that right now. Oh, and before I forget, let me show you the last tracking, which is the bar graph here, which is kind of embarrassing to look at, but there you go. Let's customize to not work on Mondays. How do I do this? Skip Mondays. Let's add another weekday, and we're gonna skip Tuesdays. And one more, here we go. Skip Wednesdays. Okay, right? That seems like pretty much what I did. And I did kind of write on Sundays. So instead of skipping the weekends, why don't I do the usual, but I will add skipping Sundays. So this is very tailored. Let's see how this looks after we're done. I'm gonna put it back to a graph because that's easiest for me at least to look at the big picture. There you go. It's gonna be like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday writing, and then 3 days off. So it's gonna have a really nice, you know, break in between. I also really enjoy the table version. So if I wanted to, I could print off this July one and know exactly how much I want to write. This is so cool. I didn't know about this. This is all in the free one. Oh, cool. I see. Another thing I didn't know is you can click on this to close it. That is so handy. Oh, I love, love, love that. Okay, cool, cool. So let's go back to, yeah, so I have my daily completed work is how I prefer to input it, and I have it on adjusting according to my progress. However, at a certain point, I stopped writing this project and I want to get back into it. To try to finish on July 25th, which is not that far away, it's like 20 days away, I would have to write, what's the daily count? 2,440, which is not bad. Like if I was in prime writing mode, I could probably do that, but right now, that sounds stressful. I would rather do half that. So that means that I probably want to go in and change my goals, right? I still want the novel to probably be roughly 50,000 words because I think I expect it to be longer in the end, and I'm a fast, what do you call it? I'm an underwriter, so I expect to add more to it, but starting with 50K is probably a good amount. But I'm thinking that probably like that other project we made, I need a little bit more time. So let's say August 31st, so have an extra month in there. So automatically the daily work is going to change to 1,383. I love this where it changes for me, so I don't have to go, math, what do I change it to? I'm gonna save this plan because I know I do want to change this. Now it says there's 57 days left, which is so much better. But now I can print out July and I can have this calendar. This is so cool. And I can just be like, yeah, this is what I'm focusing. I can have a daily target word count for those days and know exactly what to do. And if I wanted to do, like, say I wanted Sunday to be a little bit less, I could add that as well. Let's try that. So let's delete this Sunday. And instead, I probably could have done it on the previous one. I just want to do a little bit less. Look at that, I love it. So just kind of cut it in half. That's so cool. And then even look at this, you could put in a date range. Like if you were gonna go on vacation, which we just did for the 4th of July, we went out of town, then you could just say, I'm not writing on this particular weekend. So you don't have to feel bad when you fall behind. I hate feeling bad when things come up that you knew you were gonna do, you didn't have control over it, but then you feel bad anyway. That writer's guilt is so ridiculous, but it's so real. So this is gonna help with that. But yeah, I think the table is still my favorite because I really like seeing that progress as you add it in. You can see a very long stretch of not writing there. So there you have it. You can track your progress. You can track how it's displayed and you can customize that to you. You can also customize the days that you write, which is so helpful because nobody writes the same, so you can make it yours. And the strategy for how you attack it and get into it and get it done, everybody's so different with that too, so this is really cool. And of course, ultimately having a goal is super helpful to you because we all know that saying, fail to plan and plan to fail. Again, I'm a little bit of a pantser, but even people like me who kind of wing it with the novel itself, it's still so valuable to have an actual plan of what you're aiming to accomplish each day and overall, because that's going to be huge for you actually finishing your book. So this went really long, longer than I expected it to, but I really hope that you guys like it, and I really hope you like the title for my new WIP. Huge thank you to PACEMAKER for letting me try out that premium option again, just because all I knew was the free option, but I think they're both incredibly cool. So if you want to hide it, it's what, $8 I think? Let me check. Oh, here we go. Here's the site. So basically this little page on the premium option tells you the difference between, and it's like $8 a month or free, and it just tells you the different things that you get. Oh, cool, there's email reminders. Private plans, I knew that, and you can make as many as you want versus just 2 on the free plan. Anyway, that's how you use PACEMAKER. I absolutely love it. Again, this is not like a sponsored video. I was not paid to talk about this. I actually reached out to them and asked if I could talk about their site, and then they gave me access to that premium account for 1 month. So I got to just try it out. I don't know if that counts as a sponsored video or not. I'm gonna have to look into what the heck a sponsored video is because I've never actually done one before. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this and I hope that you like PACEMAKER. Go check it out. I will link it below. Hope you liked this little tutorial of sorts, and thank you again to PACEMAKER. You guys are awesome, and I will talk to you all again very soon. Bye!